Hello. I don't know. I should prep more like mentally before I start these. But hey, I'm live streaming now. So I'm just changing the strings on my guitar. Finally, it's been about 6 months. By the way, I just want to do a quick. This is unpaid advertisement. These are the brands of strings that I've been using for years now. What are these? Ernie Ball Earthwood acoustic guitar strings. I used these on my little guitar, my Guitalele, if you're familiar with that. Hey, Joel, Pirate Ninja. I used this on my little Guitalele, and they'd last like a whole year. And now I use these on my acoustic, my Washburn, and they last. I mean, I changed my strings sometime in the summer. So they're just really hardcore fucking strings. And as you know, I play about maybe two. Hey, Scarlet Mama and Stevie 800. I play about like 4 hours a day when I go. So I'm actually playing a whole lot, and I have this habit of like crushing the strings, like really like, cause I'm like playing and I'm, so much passion and energy is coming out of me that I'm like strangling the guitar, and I happen to dent strings up pretty fast. And these, I'm able to. Good evening, hello Mariposa. Hello, Scarlet Mama. These strings hold up. So I'm finally changing my strings, so tomorrow I'll have a nice, clear tone. Yeah, it's been an interesting weekend. I think this is something I wanted to talk about because I hadn't talked about it this much. Just like I'm like anybody else, I want everybody to think positive things about me. I want to be popular. I want to be well liked. And so like it like kind of hurts, honestly. It kind of hurts when I go to my Instagram and I see that like I'm getting a bunch of unfollows. I mean, out of 8,000, I'd say maybe I got like 50 to 100 unfollows in the past few days. I'm kind of smiling about it because I'm kind of proud in a way. I think my heroes would be proud of me anyway, because you don't want people following you for the wrong reasons. And most people suck. It's just a numbers game there. It's an evolutionary thing. Not all of us need to be cool people in order to reproduce. Hold on, I gotta loop this up around here. Do a little string lock. Hold on. Yeah. So I got a lot of unfollows this weekend, and it's like, it made my stomach hurt a little bit, to open Instagram and to not only see the unfollows, but to see people kind of like, not kind of, I hate saying kind of in, common things that people say like that. But it's like people leaving comments that are just like, they're just trolling, like, at this point I can see clearly, like, some people are in troll mode now. They're just deciding to go on my post. I'm not going to name anyone specifically because I don't want to give any free shout outs on here, since I'm not really making money off this stream, so I have no reason to give anyone undeserved attention. Verena, how's it going? Yeah, got a lot of follows. What I find silly is like the first thing I posted this morning was from this clip from when Dylan went electric, and all these people, all these former fans of Dylan were going, he's changed from what he was, he's something different now. And I'm like, what I put as the caption is, because of social media, clueless fucks like these now have a 24-hour sounding board and access to the greatest minds of our generation. And so people came on that post to say, well, people should be allowed to have a difference in opinion without being called clueless fucks. And it's like, okay, so you're saying you should be free to say what you want, but I can't call you a clueless fuck. So the free speech clearly only works in one way to some of these caucasoids. And I just don't, I was talking to my special friend about this. These people aren't intellectual people, These people aren't smart people. That's why they're saying things like, clearly you know, you have the freedom to say, and the video is about the people who said that Dylan had changed and he's prostituting himself. All those people are clueless fucks. Time has showed that all those people that were like, boo, Bob Dylan, boo, you went electric, those people are fucking stupid. His best records were after that, right? So not only are those people, and go look at that post if you haven't seen it. You can leave the live stream, come back. I'll be posting it later. You'll see what the fuck I was talking about after it. But go look at that first post I did today, that Dylan post of people outside the Dylan concert. It's like, not only are you on the wrong side of history now, but you're going back and you're supporting these Dylan detractors who are booing Bob Dylan. I'm calling them clueless fucks because history knows them as clueless fucks. If you're booing Bob Dylan back in the day, you're clueless fuck. You're on the wrong side of history. And these people are so dumb. They're so dumb that they don't realize the side that they're putting them on. Someone called a death threat to Bob before concert when he went electric. That's pretty wild. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, those people are clueless fucks. Is it really something? My hair looks great right now. My hair looks amazing right now. It's very dry, though. It's very dry. I don't know if you can hear this. Ranting Gabe is the only Gabe. If you... oh my gosh, don't date me. Don't date me. That's fair warning. Yeah, these aren't smart people that are trolling me. And I think the thing is, a smart person is gonna like wait it out, watch from a distance, and a dumb person is gonna rush in and want to say something, and even go so far as to like come back every day and leave a comment. And that's been this one person who, it's like this weird white idea. Like I feel like when like a white person runs out of like things to argue, or they don't have a leg to stand on in their argument, they go to this place where you're being unfair. People should be allowed to express different opinions without being called a clueless fuck. Well, that's me expressing my opinion of you. You were a clueless fuck. You're a clueless fuck. Your fucking arguments make no sense. What? You said that. I won't be doing this forever. You said that. Oh, thank you for joining, by the way, all you people. Ew, different tone and more instrumentation. What are you talking about? Don't date me to every guy ever. Is that what you say? It's just fair advice. Someone asked me out for a drink last week, and I was like, don't ask people out for drinks. This is just this is Gabe's dating tips. Don't ask people out for drinks because it's 2019 and no one wants to leave their house. If we aren't connecting online, then we aren't going to connect in person. Because guess what? After we go out for that drink, what are you going to do? You're going to text me, right? So text me now and see if we have anything in common. And if we do, then I'll go out for a drink. I don't want to go out for a drink with a stranger. I don't want to use my precious time. I might die after that. I don't want to use my precious time to go on a date with a stranger and be like, oh, so what do you do? It's like we should have cleared all that out the way before we meet up, so that when we do meet up, we're just drinking and then we're going to bone. That's how dating should go. People are too eager, especially dudes, to be like, on Tinder, to be like, hey, let's get off this app and let's meet up. It's like, your vibe should totally be like, I'm taking a shit and I'm just fucking around on Tinder. Anyway, back to the clueless fucks. Or actually, I don't really want to spend that much time on them. Because I really wanted to just, like... I need a setup. Ooh. I need a setup. That's vibrating a little bit. Going out for drinks with a rando sucks, and it's silly unless you both know 100% sure that you want to get it in. You know what I mean? That is, going out for drinks is like the reward, or actually meeting in person is the reward for having a connect. Because the cool thing about texting someone is it's mind to mind. So it's like, if you want to take me out to drinks to like flirt with me or see if you like me or whatever, it's like that's such a waste of time. My God, I wake up at 4. I'm gonna wake up at 4 in the morning tomorrow, and then I have therapy after I busk. Do you think I want to meet? I don't even drink really. I had 2 beers today and made me sleep most of the day. I don't drink really. And so I'm speaking of which, a friend of mine, he's Hispanic. He said, I just heard a clip from your podcast. I had to be gay for a minute, but I am back. Be gay for longer. I'm trying to make it a permanent thing. By the way, don't use gay as a pejorative. That's just don't ever do it. Don't use gay as a synonym for doing something bad, since technically gay means happy for a reason. Fire Island. What am I trying to say? A friend of mine who's Hispanic said, "You're my hero. Heard your clip from the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about the hate or whatever that you're receiving, because that's just what white people do. They're like, oh, we want diversity, virtue signal all day. And then when someone of color actually offers a diverse opinion, they want to shut them down real quick. It's Black History Month. Does anyone realize that it's only 3 days into Black History Month and a whole bunch of white dudes have made it a point to celebrate by trying to suppress a black voice under the guise of I'm just trying to stop racism? Oh yeah, you're fighting for equality. That's what you're doing. Yeah, shut me down, because who knows? I might use the hundreds of years old institution of black systemic racism to, I might start denying white people bank loans. I might start selling white people subprime mortgages. I might start a program, a policy of stopping and frisking, dudes in Abercrombie and Fitch. Better stop me. I might start a black KK. We might roll around San Francisco hanging chads by a tree. It's just a fucking stupid idea. This is the racism that you're fighting? Me? Your many sides ass is gonna shut me down? Nah, man, I don't know. It's stupid, and I think the thing that I've had to look at myself is how much of a beta bitch I am, and just in terms of how much I want approval from other people, how much I want your approval, basically, how much of it, and that's why I always say hate your audience, hate the audience first and foremost, because they're not your friend. Every eyeball, every bit of attention cages you to the expectations of the audience. That's not your friend. That's an abusive relationship. The entertainer-audience relationship is an abusive one. And if I don't establish that I could walk away from you at any point in time and I don't need you, then you'll fucking own me and you'll turn me into fucking, it'll be like Beyonce and the white women, she's a black woman, but in a sense, she really isn't one, because she has to tone down her blackness. I mean, she's brought it out a little bit more over the past couple of years, but she's had to tone down her blackness to appeal to her largely white woman fan base. Because if Beyonce's a fucking black chick from Texas who dates a black dude from New York. You don't think they talk shit about white people in their spare time? If oh my God. The text between Beyonce and Jay-Z must be so racist against white people. This white bitch just came up to me, asked me for a picture. I'm motherfucking Beyonce, bitch. You gotta pay for a picture. The conversations must be so juicy, but they can't let those out, because white people don't want a black Bob Dylan. They don't want a mouthy nigger on a record, they don't want that. They want a black version of a white artist, basically. They want your blackness to be a signal of their virtue. Oh, I listen to this black artist, I am therefore a woke white person. But if that black artist talks about politics or social issues, then unfollow. Either quietly unfollow or say, I'm unfollowing you. Fuck you. And I'm really okay. This is what I want to talk about. I'm kind of a bitch. You know, I released that podcast a couple weeks ago, or was this last weekend? No bitch ass thoughts. And this weekend I've had a lot of bitch ass thoughts. A lot of them were just basic bitch ass thoughts, like, you know, what if they don't like me? What if they don't like what I'm doing? What if people see me in the street and they're like, "You're a racist. You hate white people, and you're singing the Beatles somehow." It's like, that's isn't that the dumbest fucking thing to think? I play Radiohead, the Beatles, Nirvana, the Strokes, and I hate white people? What? What? My God. White people pay my mortgage. Do you know what I'm saying? White people have created the best the films, music, and television that I love. I mean, fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer, fucking Fight Club is white people, fucking Kurt Cobain is a white person. The idea, it all has to do with this idea of like, I mean, it's just white supremacy, right? Let me read some of your comments. I'm sorry, I'm just ranting here. Let's see what we doing. Oh, I was telling my girlfriend I love her, so I was definitely being gay. Oh, that is gay. That is very gay. Telling your girlfriend you love her as a woman, gay. So gay. I wish I was gay, dude. Like James Franco. No, not like James Franco. Not like I'm like gay, but I'm not gay. Anyway, I'm being dumb. White people aren't the ones who want diversity, it seems. Of course not. Man, white people don't want diversity the same way people with diabetes don't want to put down a Snickers bar. You know what I'm saying? Why would you fucking want diversity? Why would you want diversity as a white person? It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, as a man, I'm not gonna like want feminism. I'm gonna want male superiority because that's what's been in place for the longest time, and that's what I take advantage of constantly. Being a man, I'm not just gonna like want feminism. Oh, I just carte blanche, just want feminism. I'm a male feminist. No, it takes a hell of a lot of struggle. Who's texting me stuff? Someone's texting me something. It takes a lot of a struggle, I think, to work through your own privilege, whatever that type of privilege may be, to look at someone else's situation and to want to raise them up. But once you realize that privilege is kind of holding us all back from traveling through space and shit like that. Like, our planet is a sandwich that we as a mold have eaten almost completely. And racism, sexism, homophobia, classism, all that bullshit are holding us back from being a united species that can party on Mars with David Bowie. Okay, let's read more. I heard your podcast. You talking rat killing inspired me. You're my hero now. They're not rats, they're mice, and I just saw one in my house. So believe me when I tell you, I don't want to be out here killing mice. I have so many mice. There's a mouse infestation in my house. It's really bad. It's not healthy. Okay, it seems like there's less, but you know, they're smart and they're hardcore. White people aren't the ones who want diversity. Oh, okay, I'm reading the same thing over. Once you finish stringing up, can you sing us something? I can. This month, this month lets me unapologetically obsess over Angela Davis and the Black Panthers. You should always unapologetically obsess over that. And white gay dudes. I don't know what that means. Hey bros, are y'all coming to my Super Bowl party or not? I don't even know about this Super Bowl. Can you be racist to white people? Not sure element. Something I've said is, if you're black in America, at least, and you can manage to just genuinely create a real hatred for white people, then you've accomplished something. You're like what do you call it? George Washington Carver of I don't know if that exactly makes sense, but it's an accomplishment if you're Black American and you can manage to hate white people, since we're inundated in Eurocentrism. You know, it's Friends is on repeat everywhere. How I Met Your Mother. You know what I mean? It's constant with the Eurocentrism. So if you can manage to be like, you know what? Fuck Whitey. If you can manage that, then you're like, you've like somehow climbed to the top of Mount Everest above the clouds of whiteness, and you can see that it's just bullshit. You know, it's an accomplishment. But I don't hate white people because I'm not as dumb as you. That's like a privileged thing. I don't have the privilege to hate white people. Do you know what I mean? That would be like if I lived in a castle in like fucking, where's that place? Dubai, where black people are rich, and I was just like, I hate white people. Like, I'd have to have that level of privilege to hate white people. I interact with so many white people all the time, and I'm steeped in white culture to the point that to hate white people would be like an impossible endeavor. Let's read some more. Rolls eyes. Mayo jars are always unappreciative of POC making real art and statements. Yeah, I mean, over my life, I posted this in my story. I mean, this was very hurtful early on, because you just don't know what to do with this as like a young black kid. Young black kid listening to Linkin Park and stuff like that, listening to Nirvana, and like, you know, all this was spiked up, Liberty spikes with the fucking, I forget what you call that, but not manic panic spikes, but you know, it's that colored paste. So that's how you know you're a fucking poser. I wasn't a poser, I was real with the shit, but you know, I was spiking it up with that colored paste. You said all this was fucking Liberty spiked up with the fucking fishnet, things like that. And I remember this fucking, by the way, all the kids I used to hang out with back then were racist. And it was just like a casual thing. They'd be like, nigger, you know, casual. Where was this? Between Midwood and Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, just like casual racism. Because it's like, you know, they say New York's a melting pot, but it's like, it's not really a melting pot because the potatoes don't want to touch the steak because they think the steak's dirty. That's not really a melting pot. It's more of a buffet, if you will. There's all this stuff there, but they're in separate bins. But I would hang out in Sheepshead Bay all the time, Midwood, you know, yeah, Tibialu Blue, the Mezuzah, you know, I'm down with my Russian and my Jewish peeps and stuff like that. And yeah, all those motherfuckers were various types of racists. So, you know, people that would just call me nigger to my face. Shout out to what's his fucking name, Ricky. But you know, like I said before, there's racists and there's crazy people. Ricky was a little off, so he would like twitch and stuff like that. He'd be like, nigger, you know. It's like he needed someone he could feel better than, and I could recognize that. But also, motherfuckers were friends with that dude, and friends with me. You know what I mean? And that's why I think white people need to be challenged on mostly. You guys date horrible people. Okay, so even today, I was alerted to, you know, a white woman, or she's white appearing or whatever, who's dating this dude who's like, you know, men are under attack. You know what I'm saying? This is who white women date. Liberal white women consistently will date like these conservative white dudes who are basically MAGA dudes. Or it's like their uncle, or it's their aunt, or you know what I'm saying? It's like you know how there's 6 degrees of separation between everyone? With liberal white people, it's 1 degree of separation. It's like if you're a liberal white person, you swing your arm like this, and there's a Trump supporter fucking you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're in bed with diversity, Beyonce, Bayhive, but at the same time, their boyfriend is like super like not woke. I remember this woman paid me to play her boyfriend's party, and at this time I was being a little woker, and more mouthy, and you know talkative, I guess. And I remember at the end of the party, very white birthday party with everyone being white and stuff like that. And it wasn't that much fun, to be honest, but I got paid a really good amount, which is great. And at the end, she goes, with the boyfriend, she goes, you know, I'm sorry we're so white. I actually, at one point, a mixed woman walked in, and I was like, oh my God, one other person of color here, and I was like, but they were like, this is where mixed people get away, because they'll be like, if you're mixed enough to pass, you don't give a fuck about dark-skinned black people. You really don't, because you're like, bitch, I'm practically white up in this motherfucker. I'm not gonna give you the we're black nod. I'm gonna look. You're the help. You're the help, motherfucker. I was invited here. You're the help. So it's that kind of vibe. And at the end, the girlfriend, who's very sweet, and I should have been dating her, honestly. She's too sweet for that guy. Sorry, but that's just the truth. She was like, I'm sorry we're so white. And I laughed. I was like, oh, that's okay. It was like just the most hilarious, honest thing to say, because like, women are just better than men. They just are. And I'm not pandering. It's just like in examples like this, you can see this happening. I'm closing my eyes because I realize, like, I really need to regrout my fucking sink. It's a disaster. Anyway, and the white guy, her boyfriend goes, what? He's like so uncomfortable that she brought up whiteness. And it's like, no, man, your girlfriend is the reason. She's the best part of your relationship, clearly. Because you're one of those white dudes that's like, what? White isn't, what? I'm not. Everyone's the same, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's read some more. Scarlet Mama says, live your life, Gabe. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. You can't be racist against those whom society favors and was built to be advantageous to. That's what I thought. I thought motherfuckers could Google this shit. But that's what I started to realize looking through the comments, that these aren't the type of people who are going to like Google systemic racism, or these aren't the type of people who are going to watch Dear White People on Netflix, or who are watching Insecure on HBO. You know what I'm saying? These are white. These motherfuckers are white. These motherfuckers don't know that saying reverse racism brands you as one of those fucking stupid people. I just realized you're changing your strings. That's not very Gabe of you, Gabe. Hey, man, I gotta change them sometimes. A lot of them are dead now. That's why I gotta change them. That's New York for you. The mice, yeah. Remember, our school systems weren't built for you. Yeah, that's why I dropped out. Fuck Whitey equal making peanut butter. Funny, I don't know. Why can't you come to England and sort Theresa May out? What do you mean sort her out? Like give her the business? Give her the old business, mate? Hey, Theresa May, I'm going to give you the business, love. Come here. There's no sorting her out at the moment. The aesthetic. Oh, my God. Hey, the real No Identity. I really appreciated your post that you made earlier. Thank you. By the way, if you really support what I'm doing and what I'm saying, I'm so thankful that there's 16 people in the room now. Share my stuff. Like, take this. There's a little shared thing somewhere down there. Send it to your closest friend, your closest relative. Send it to their DMs. Have them watch the stream, or share my podcast, share my posts and stuff like that. That really matters right now, because I'm really going away from the idea that I'm gonna be on The Voice, because you can't be on The Voice talking shit. You can't be on American Idol talking real shit. You can't go on American Idol and be like, fuck you, fucking Christina Aguilera. You Hispanic as fuck. You acting with these white people or whatever. You can't talk a lot of shit. Anyway, do you think it's okay this is Stanway Hugh. Do you think it's okay to be uncultured? Because I'm from the northeast of England and I'm NGL. I don't know what that means. There's like one black guy at my school, so it's okay to be sort of unaware when it comes to privilege. I think just because of the internet, it's not. I mean, like, you can be how can you? I mean, you don't seem unaware of privilege because you're talking about it. So I think the thing is, if you're unaware of privilege, you're just completely unaware of it. And I really, I feel like even if you grow up in an all-white place, like Norway or something like that, you're aware of white privilege because of the world. Because of how the world is, because of what's happened in Africa, because of the slave trade, because of TV, you can see the news in America and stuff, so it's hard to be unaware of it. But you can be so comfortable in your sense of privilege that you don't think about people who don't have the privileges you do. And that I can excuse, to a certain extent. But again, you know, we got little computers that we carry in our pockets that give us all the information in the world. So it's hard to excuse any sort of ignorance, really. But and again, I'm not really here to, like, let's say, attack ignorant white people. I think I'm more here to just talk wild shit. No, that's not it. That's not what I want to say. I think I'm here to just be honest, you know? I think I have to let my voice out there. So it's not really about attacking people for lacking knowledge, but it is important that I point it out. My pinky nail is way too long. I look like a coke dealer. See that? Anyway, white liberals are one step away from being both sides are wrong centrist. Yeah. That's true. Verena said that. That's true. Very true. Greg said there's an artist named Damali Ayo. She used to make these greeting cards that said, "Welcome. Until you got here, I was the only person of color." Funny. I like that. Excuse me. White. Unfollowed. Flowerpunk, stop unfollowing and blocking him. I never have. Yeah, Flowerpunk is a lifer. I'm slowly showing my girlfriend all my busker friends. Good. Oh yeah, nah, I'm sticking to competitions rather than aiming for TV stuff, I think. Yeah, I'm so stupid I looked at your guitar and for a split second I thought it was a part of your shirt. You're not that stupid. When Time and Space Collide is my favorite, also Won't You Still Need Me so damn classic. Yes, I agree. Thank you for saying that. I would love to do a collab with you if you're down. LOL. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm a pretty solitary being. I just try to put that out there. I'm fairly solitary. I'm pretty good. Oopsie. That low power mode's on. Fuck, man. I don't know where my other charging cable is, and it's fucking upsetting. Anyway, we don't need to worry about that. Let me just plug this motherfucker in, and we're gonna keep going for a while. I'm supposed to be changing guitar strings here, so I'm trying not to ruin this cable. Can the phone turn upside down? Nope. Won't go upside down properly. Okay, I'm trying to not have it rest on the cable. Alright, this is good enough, right? No, it's not. Not for me. Not for me, loves. Not for buggery me. I'm from the north of England. Is it okay if I'm completely racist all the time? Otis, I love you. And then he said pig. I don't know why he said pig. I'm down to collaborate. I just don't seek it very often, and I'm a very solitary person. I love to play alone and be alone, generally. Except sometimes when I don't like to do that. But collaborations could be fun. I imagine the easiest and best collaboration for me would be like a kind of postal service kind of collaboration, where it's like we just send things back and forth over the internet and like layer things. Like I play something, put it in a recording, send it to you, and you put something over it, and that's how we do it. Like if we never have to actually meet in person, that to me would be my dream collaboration. Because then I could feel productive and not have my pants on. And I like that. Hey, Cliff Co. Bitch ass thoughts. Let's get back to that. I've just been worrying a lot about my follower count dropping. And that's a bitch ass thought. Okay? That's a bitch ass thought. Can't worry about your follower count dropping. Gary Vaynerchuk, the king of social media, says, don't worry about your follower count. Just put out things that you really believe in, that really matter to you. And I haven't been doing that. You know, throughout all of 2018, I think I was pretty quiet. My posts are pretty normcore. I don't know if I really showed or shared much of my personality or had much fun posting. I got that Subway Creatures feature. That bubble tea. You know I got that bubble tea. That taro milk tea. 2018, I was pretty quiet. First of all, I was very stoned. and just kind of feeling like, I don't know if I can like express myself. I don't know if there's like a place for it. I don't know if people like me. And I still feel like that. Like, it sucks to say something like really obvious. Like, the people tonight were two rich, young, white. Did I say another one? I think, no, the people tonight, I went to a comedy show to see Dina Hashem. And Sam Morrill was there. Sam Morrill is a pretty big name in comedy. Just great comedians, man. These are fucking dirty, filthy, edgy people. These are comedians are some of the smartest, edgiest, most thoughtful people ever. But it's like they can only get so far with an audience, And that audience was so like blonde, and everyone had straightened hair that was down to here, and was like, everyone was like super hot and very like, did you see the Firefest doc? It's like, why are people so interested in the Firefest documentary? Do you guys realize Netflix has made it so that we're all watching? It's like we're back in the TV days where it's like we've got this infinite selection of things to watch, but because everyone culturally kind of swims like salmon up the same stream, we're all watching the same bullshit at once. We're all gonna watch Ted Bundy in the Firefest now. That's what we're all gonna do together. No one's downloading Tubi. No one's downloading, what's the other one? One of the other free streaming apps, and watching one of those fucking shitty B movies on there. Shitty B movie. Here's the thing: you could watch Bird Box because Netflix recommends it, and still have a shitty time watching Bird Box. Or for free, you can download Tubi or Vubi or whatever the fuck free streaming service, and watch one of their shitty B movies and have probably a better time, because you're watching some shit that all your friends didn't watch. But we're so like just like salmon swimming up the same stream. Well, if I don't catch up with Stranger Things season 3, what am I gonna talk about at the water cooler on Monday? Talk about systemic racism, bitch. Talk about some fucking real ass shit. I'm hopefully trying to encourage people to think outside the box. Like, it's hard to not be yourself, and it's like I don't want to wait until like I get cancer or something like that. I think that's how I have it in my head sometimes. Like, I'll just be dishonest and fucking sycophantic, and just make my entire existence about trying to get everyone to like me until I get cancer, and then I'll just go fuck it, like in Office Space. I'll just go fuck it, I don't care what anyone thinks of me. It's like, no, that time is now. That time is now, And I'm really trying to take advantage of the fact that my voice is in the condition it's in, and that my mind is in the condition it's in. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and because I sing so well, you have to listen. And because I'm so eloquent and smart and shit like that, and funny and charming, you have to listen. And I need to take advantage of that. Okay, so going back to just like, so I remember this kid. This is the kind of kids that, the kind of white kids that grow up in the South of Brooklyn, in these like, around Marine Park, these all Italian Irish neighborhoods, these all Russian neighborhoods. They're fucking the worst, like the worst racists. Like, I remember this kid telling me, and it's always like, cool white, nerdy white kids, we all play Magic the Gathering and things like that. We like Super Smash Brothers, and then there's that one kid that's like, he's like, Hitler was cool. I like Hitler. And it's like, we're like, what, 17, 18. You don't know what to think of that shit then, because there wasn't like the idea of being woke then and stuff like that. Like, a different world had been off the air for years, and there just wasn't. It's like, what do you do with that? You just kind of ignore it because you assume that person's crazy. But anyway, I remember this kid said to me, you're one of the good ones. He said to me. Like, he said something like, you're trying to defect to white culture. And I realized, like, that's why black people don't like me. Because they see me as a white property. And I sort of had to go around with that idea for years that I'm like, never gonna be white, never gonna be white, and never gonna be fully accepted by black people because of the way I talk and act and the kind of music that I like and the fact that I keep mentioning Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I still love Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Daria. And I think all that stuff has come around, if you will, to now I feel strong enough in myself to be honest about what I'm thinking. I don't care if you like me. In fact, not only do I not care if you like me, I mean, really though, I mean, part of me does. Like I said, I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, fuck, I'm losing followers. By the way, if you care about what I'm doing, please share my stuff because that'll help ultimately. I don't care about what you think of me because I know I'm right. And because I know that if you don't like me, you were never going to like me, and you never really liked me in the first place. You just saw me as like a friendly black face, a non-threatening black face. And then I opened my mouth and then you got threatened. And if that's who you are, then I don't need you. Because I see that there's plenty of people out there, plenty of white people out there who are looking to be challenged, who are looking to have their whiteness challenged, who can see the writing on the wall and see that, yeah, whiteness, the stock of whiteness has been falling for a while. With Trump in office, whiteness is like really looking bad. So this is a time for voices of color to speak up. And if you're on the side of like, oh, I like my voices of color to speak up, but I'm white and I like to dictate how they speak up, then you're on the wrong side of history. And if you don't know that, you're just a silly, silly goose. And you got nothing to offer me for sure. Let me read some of these. Sorry, I missed it. Hey Gabe, someday can I write you a song? Yes, you can. I'd love to do that. I'd love to try to write music with other people online. That's cool. No real identity. That's cool. I have my own studio, so you can go back and forth. Sounds good. I'll DM you with my info. Yeah, if you want to ask me about working together and stuff like that, just DM me. Do you think drugs help the creative process? No. Do you think that Dylan and the Beatles could have been as good without drugs? No. So there's a little bit of a catch-22 there. It's like, I've known plenty of people on drugs. I made a podcast about DMT recently. I've known plenty of people on drugs. They're not all creative geniuses. I've taken drugs with people I've been in a band with. They did not come out playing like Hendrix. It's really, I think it really has something to do with your willpower. I think drugs can change your perception of reality, and that can help you be creative. But I think the thing that helps you most be creative is to create. Like, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've smoked weed and said I was gonna write a song and didn't write the song. You know, it's not the drugs at all. You've gotta want to write the song more than anything. It's gotta be like in your heart. It's like, you know, accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He's either in there or he's not. It's not really something you can coax out with a drug, you know? Like after I smoked DMT, I wasn't like this wellspring of songs that can flood out. It's really, you know, it's a determination that you have. I'm gonna write this music. You know, I'm gonna play this song really well. It can help clear out some of your blocks, but again, that's all a matter of will, and it's probably better to go to therapy, honestly, if you want to clear psychological blocks that might be keeping you from expressing as freely as you could be. I hope that answered your question. It's not that easy. That's what I just want to remind you. If it was that easy, then everyone would just get high and then write symphonies. It's not that easy. I love shitty movies. They're awful as fantastic. True. Talk about systemic racism, bitch. I love you. I love you too. Gardens Devone. Hello. Oh, yep, I got that before. One of the good ones. Yeah, it's like that could be the title of one of my albums. One of the good ones, you know? Because white people love to tell me how they thought I was white. Now, not just white people, black people too. People love to tell me that they thought I was white from my voice. Like, I can't hear my voice. I know I sound like Fraser Crane. Niles, oh, welcome, I'm listening, or whatever his thing was. I don't really watch Frasier that much. Buffy is still such like a cornerstone of 90s culture. Buffy is so how 90s is Buffy the Vampire Slayer? The show, not the movie. Fuck the movie. How come the movie compared to the show was so bullshitty? I will never watch. I think I watched that whole movie once on TV. Never watching that again. Doesn't even compare. Threatened bleach bottles can get the fuck out. Is that like a Mayo thing? Art made with drugs are maybe a type of art. Art made with drugs are maybe a type of art as opposed to improving art, maybe, yeah. I remember I think it was Salvador Dali who said, I don't do drugs, I am drugs. And I think that's really the point you're trying to get to with drugs, you're trying to have a switch permanently flick on where you cross from one way of thinking to the other. And you can just kind of just go there. But there's so much bullshit involved in your day-to-day life. I think you don't realize that. You do the acid, you do the mushrooms and stuff like that, and you can change, but if you're just gonna wake up and do the same things that you did another day, then that is not gonna end up in a change. So I really think it's like changing your entire life that makes your art better or makes you more creative, like living a literally more creative life. Like if your life is not your own, then it's gonna be hard to be creative because you're so used to having things prescribed to you, become a pirate, really. Quit your job, quit school, abandon your family, and go a pirating along the South Caribbean. Go rob tour ships for 3 years with a band of merry men. And then I'm sure you'll have something to write about or something to paint about after that. But I'm joking a little bit. But I think the general idea is you can't be a weekend warrior. Tyler Durden in the movie Fight Club said, "Sticking feathers up your butt does not make you a chicken." And I don't think doing drugs makes you creative. Dylan did turn the Beatles onto pot, but I mean, this was like 1970s pot. This is basically oregano. This is basically fresh oregano that they were smoking. The Beatles were the Beatles before they smoked weed, and they were the Beatles after they smoked weed. And actually, it wasn't just like drugs and acid that made the Beatles the Beatles. They went to India. They did a lot of meditating. They were around a lot of different art. They were all over the world. They were teenagers who became millionaires. That changes you a lot. Gay Witch. Oh, I love Willow. You know who's my favorite? Anya. So hot. She was so weird. I didn't like later when she got evil, but she was so weird, and she would say weird stuff, and it was so hot. I don't know why. It's so hot. I just love whoever the offbeat character is. I just want to bone them so much. I just love offbeat characters. I'm getting flush. Anyway, wow, really flushed. Need a drink. Anya from Buffy. Can't even look her up. Anyway, how do you write songs? Well, a song is a poem with chords. So you just kind of stick those in a bucket, shake it up, spill it out, music. No, to be real, how I write a song is, I like the first line to be good, And so I start from the beginning. I don't start from the chorus or anything like that, usually. So my most popular song, 60 Christmas Scented Blackbirds. Woo! 60 Christmas Scented Blackbirds. All right. I know you love it. 60 Christmas Scented Blackbirds. Okay, yeah. My most popular song, 60 Christmas Scented Blackbirds. I just started with what I was feeling at that moment. And the first line is, I don't know what to say. I feel lost and confused. And then I went from there. All right. I spilled all of that juice on myself. Yeah. It's real life. That was great. The funny thing is, like, if I had just relaxed... Did I break my guitar? That's the most important thing. My pants are all wet. Okay. Alright, got some nicks in there. Okay, let me clean this up a little bit. I can be clumsy sometimes. Yeah. So as for chords, I'm not afraid to just kind of go into a... That sucks, but I was playing around with that drink a little bit too much. Now it's all over me. For chords, I just went in GarageBand, and they have in the little GarageBand for iPhone app, it just gives you chords, basically. And I just use those. So don't be afraid to use like a chord generation app. Let me tell you this. It definitely takes some art to write songs, but it's not a difficult thing. It's like, I didn't go to songwriting school or something like that. I just sort of go with my feelings and make sounds on the guitar that I like. So make it easy on yourself by... I made a mess over here. Make it easy on yourself by just think it's an easy thing. Just think, okay, if Gabe can do it, then I can do it. Because Gabe didn't go to songwriting school. Gabe just sort of wrote what he was feeling, put it with some chords, and made it work. And you can do the same thing. I hope that helps. But really the only thing that's going to help you become a better songwriter is to write songs and throw some of them in the trash. That's really what does it. You write enough bad songs and enough songs that sound like other people's songs and enough songs that, are just... I don't know, I'm rambling now because I'm cleaning. But you write enough, you'll stumble upon something good. And then once you stumble upon enough good things, you'll be able to just write good things off the bat. But getting to that point is really hard. And also knowing what the fuck is worth writing about is hard as well. Because it's not like 1952 where you can just be like, shabba-doo-ba-ba-ba-boo, I got an ice cream with my babe, and da-da-da-da. You gotta write about something meaningful. Well, if you want my attention, you gotta write about something meaningful. If you want the attention of all these momos out in the world, then all you gotta do is make a numbered list from 1 to 10 and start describing things. Be like, 1, I don't know what to write, and then I don't know what to write. 2, I still don't know what to write, and then I'm gonna write, and then write. 3, I don't know, you know what I mean? If you wanna make it really easy on yourself, just do some dumb shit like that. Or kind of copy Eminem and create an imaginary conversation between two people. But I walked in and I asked him, how you... I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Indeedly, deedly, goddamn the pirate's life for me. Fight Club is so good though. A lot of people miss the entire point. The entire point. What's the entire point? Hot damn! I didn't think murder was allowed on Instagram Live. Nice. Hey, let's ruin the planet for our value. Real quick, prohibit that shit. Should you scrap a song if it sounds similar to an existing song? No. I mean, I have songs that I won't play anymore because I'm like, this sounds way too much like this other song. And Philando sounds a lot like Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll, but it doesn't sound exactly like it. It just sounds very, very similar to it. So I'm comfortable with that. But I have other songs I won't even mention that I'm like, okay, I know what song this sounds exactly like, and it makes me so uncomfortable to play it. I can't do it anymore, and I don't even want it to exist out there because it's that uncomfortable. But that's fine. That happens. I mean, it's pop music. There's not that many sounds in pop music. I listen to a lot of music. There's not that many sounds. My chair's all wet. Ladies. Yeah, so in pop music, you're going to end up sounding like another song. It happens all the time. People sue people in the larger pop world all the time because their music sounds similar, but that just kind of happens. I don't think you can really have a 100% pure sound in pop music. And most of my songwriting heroes borrowed their sounds from other people. You know, like at the time with Dylan and the Stones and the Beatles, they were all hearing each other's songs on the radio and going like, oh, okay, I'm going to write my version of that, you know. Especially the Beatles, because the Beatles were songwriting machines, and so they were just kind of pulling ideas from places like, you know, oh, I like that tune, you know, I'm gonna write something like it. That's not uncommon, and you should really go for that as the first thing, because it's just what makes sense. You know, you write what you know, you write what you like. If you like Dazed and Confused, there's nothing wrong with writing a song that sounds like Dazed and Confused, although it shouldn't be, you know, it shouldn't be called Raised and Bunflused. You shouldn't, like, copy it that much. You should make it different. There's something real Twin Peaksy when you put us down and we can only see your ceiling. That's the drugs you're on. Listen to one of my favorite bands, literally. Wrote 2 songs with, like, the same lyrics, and they are both jams. Which bands? Bye, Flower Punk. I write dumb shit all the time. True. Please, Mr. Postman versus Feel It Still. I don't know Feel It Still. I wrote a song with a C chord. I'm finna sue you, Gabe. Steal entire instrumentation, mumble over it. I mean, that's what hip-hop is, although hip-hop's a little bit different. But yeah, a lot of music is borrowed or stolen. A lot of artwork in general is borrowed or stolen. Looks like I only have 2 minutes left. Ben Harper. I don't listen to much Ben Harper. I don't listen to much music, guys. I don't know if this surprises you. I don't listen to much music that's... I'd say music that I listen to most often is just instrumental beats. So it's like... My hand's sticky. It's like jazz... with beats on it, or just straight jazz music, just like stuff without words, because I find that most songs that have words are bad, because I tend to listen a lot to the words. Mother's the Sticks and Bit by Bit are the songs in question. Don't know them. What I do listen to is a lot of comedy. I'm watching The Green Room. It's The Green Room with Patrice O'Neal, Bob Saget, Roseanne Barr, and Sandra Bernhardt. It's, to me, musicians don't really say interesting things. Like, I know a bunch of musicians, you go to their Instagrams, it's fucking boring as fuck. It's mad pictures of them looking nice. And it's like, there's no reason for me to be here. There's no reason for me to, you know, it's like, yeah, you play music and you sing good, but it's like you're a completely two-dimensional person. And comedians aren't like that. You go to a comedian's Instagram, there's gonna be like thoughtful things on there. And I think just cause like probably a lot of musicians are just pretty people who've just like kind of decided that this is something extra that they'll do. All right, so there's only 27 seconds left. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you rate this. No, you can't rate this. What am I talking about? Go listen to my podcast. Click the link in my bio. Listen to my podcast. Every time you listen, I get like 1 cent or something like that. So I really appreciate all those little pennies trickling down. Make sure you share this thing. Share it if you're a good fan. And thank you for following. And thank you for unfollowing.